Good morning, all of you. In today's class, we will start the compensation techniques concept. So, what is compensation? Generally, there are a few important points are there for the compensation. So, we use this compensation method or compensation technique in the given control system, so that we can have a few advantages, and of course, a few disadvantages are there, but we will have a majority of the advantages. And what is the necessary of using the compensation technique in the control system that we will see here. Total, we are having a few major points are given here. The first one for the compensation is, so in order to obtain the desired performance of the system, we definitely use compensation. Desired performance means the output what we get from the control system, that has to be our desired output. So because of the so many errors or so many uh, external disturbances, the desired output may get affected. That means the control system will lose its stability. So in order to bring back that stability, or in order to get that desired performance, these compensating techniques or the compensating networks will be very helpful for the control system. Generally, these compensating networks will be joined in the feed forward path gain adjustment. So generally, these compensating networks can be connected in different ways. However, we'll see those different ways and the different those respective diagrams also. So the addition of this compensator will definitely adjust the feed forward gain of the total control system. And next, compensates a unstable system. The compensator generally bring the unstable system into the stable system condition. So that is the one of the advantage of the compensation methods. And the third one is compensating network is used to minimize the overshoot problem. So we know that the system will have overshoot issues. So in order to minimize those overshoot issues, generally we follow different methods while designing the controllers. Of course, compensation techniques are also helpful for minimizing the overshoot issue. So that is the another advantage. The next one, the compensating networks increase the steady state accuracy. So the accuracy of the steady state will be increased by the compensating network. But here the problem is, by increasing the steady state accuracy, the system will fall into unstable region. So that is the problem with the steady state accuracy. However, the steady state accuracy is very good for the system, but the system will fall into unstable region when this steady state accuracy is going to increase. So we need to keep in mind that for designing a compensating network to improve the steady state accuracy, we have to keep in mind this point also, that if we are trying for more and more accuracy of the steady state, then the system has a chance to fall into unstable region, which means the control system will become unstable control system. Okay, so we have to keep an eye on that. And the next one is, generally a compensating network will introduce a pole, of course, poles and zeros in the system of the total transfer function. After adding this compensator block, there may be a chance of having extra poles and zeros into the system. So that means adding of poles and zeros into the overall transfer function, that leads to the system performance change. Adding a pole or adding a zero definitely changes the system performance, right? So these are the some major points about the compensation or compensating techniques. And coming to the types of compensation, generally there are a few methods for the compensation based on the arrangement of the compensator. Based on the arrangement of the compensator. So generally, three major methods are there. First one is the series compensation. Second one is the feedback compensation, and third one is load compensation. So these are the three major compensation methods. Coming to the first one, the series compensator is generally connected in series with the in series with the plant or this main uh, open loop control system block, which is GFS. GFS is the plant gain or open loop gain, we can say. So series compensator is connected in series with the plant gain, or we can also say the cascade connection also. Series connection is also nothing but cascade connection. When a compensator is connected in series with the plant gain, then this type of compensation is called as a series compensation. So you can see this red block represents the compensator, where GFS is the plant block gain, and HFS is the feedback gain. And the second one is feedback compensation. This feedback compensation, generally you can see here, when the compensator is connected as feedback for the gain of the plant. So G of S is the complete gain block of the entire plant or a system. Plant or a system. Okay. So G of S is the entire gain of the plant or a system. Then when we connect a compensator in feedback mode, then this will be called as feedback compensation. The original feedback of the system H of S path is there, of course. But here we are adding the compensator in the feedback mode to the entire plant. Remember that these compensators are connected along with the plant only. You can see this series compensator is based on the series connection towards the plant or the system. Here it is in the feedback towards the system gain. Okay, so this H of S, we don't have we don't change any we don't make any changes to the feedback function, which is HFS. We wanted to make the change in the overall gain of the overall plant gain or the system gain, and that can be done with the compensator, so that we can improve the system performance. So that is the main motto. Okay, and the third one is load compensation. Generally, this load compensation is nothing but the combination of series and feedback. So combination of series and feedback compensators is simply called as a load compensation. So a compensator is used in the series along with a compensator used in the feedback path. So the combination of series and parallel compensators are simply called as load compensation. So these are the three major methods of compensation networks which is used in the control system. So after using the compensator networks, we are having a few advantages that we have already seen previously. And generally, what is this compensator? What is this compensator network consists of? What are the elements it is having generally? And what are the things we can, what are the elements, or what are the things, or what are the systems that we can consider as a compensating network? What is it? What is inside the compensator? Let's see. A compensator network generally makes the adjustments to this complete system in order to bring the system stability, or in order to eliminate the difficulties of this system faced by external disturbances or errors or something else. Okay, so all the disturbances or errors faced by the system can be corrected by this compensator or the compensator network. So generally, these compensators are of different forms. electrical form compensators will be there, mechanical, hydraulic type, and etc. There are many type of compensator networks will be there. However, we use electrical as an electrical engineer. We use electrical compensators. So the most used electrical compensator is a RC filter. So resistance and capacitance combination. So RC filter is used mostly used electrical compensator. And the compensators are mainly classified as lag compensators, lead compensators, lead lag compensators, and lag lead compensators. Generally, lag, we know the definition of a lag lead in terms of sinusoidal signal, sinusoidal voltage and the current signals. He'll say what is lag and what is lead. In the same way, lag compensators, lead compensators. In the same way, we can define the phase. The phase of the lag compensator is means the phase angle of a compensator is lagging. Then it is simply called as lag compensator. When the phase is leading, then that compensator is called as a lead compensator. And the combination of lag and lead generates two other types. That is a lead lag compensator, and the last one is lag lead compensator. So these are the four major type of compensators. However, in our syllabus, we are having lag compensator, lead compensator, and lead lag compensator designs only.